Alright guys, today's the day. We are putting the floors in the boat. Got the 1/2-inch Coosa board over there. Piece of cardboard, kind of already cut up. Got to trim it up a little bit more. And we're going to use that as a template. Same thing, got another piece of cardboard up there. So yeah, I'm going to trim this cardboard. Get a template on the Coosa. Get the Coosa board cut out. Lay it in, do any other grinding and stuff that we need to get it all nice and leveled, and get ready to, you know, glue it in with the epoxy mixed with silica. Sorry about the background noise, there's a lot of like construction going on next door, so bear with me folks. All right, so this is all nice and lined up there. I think I'm gonna trim a couple pieces just so I can fill this gap here and glass it right into the side of the hull. The front looks good. Same thing with up there, put a little piece. I gotta trim a little bit more off of there. Some scissors. All right, now we got our templates made, got pieces added so it goes a little closer to the side of the hulls here. Got it all trimmed up on the edges there. Got the inside hatch piece cut out and ready. So now we're gonna take the template, lay it on the piece of Coosa board, the best place possible to utilize as much Coosa board and stuff as possible in this build, and get it cut out. All right guys, so we got the two templates here. We got the boat, we got the 1/2-inch Coosa board that we're using for the floors, some epoxy, mixing cups, a few other things over there. So yeah, let's lay these templates out on the board, get them traced out, cut, and installed on the boat. Alright, so I went inside and got my mask. It's a pretty dusty job. Alright guys, I couldn't be any happier with this fitment. This fitment came out perfect. I mean, there's just a slight little gap right here, but the 1708 is gonna fix that just fine. So I mean, look how perfect this is. Perfect, perfect, sits perfectly flush. Just gonna grind that down a little bit just so it has a good contact for the bonding on the mesh in 1708. But yeah, I couldn't be happier with the way the template came out and the cut came out on this Coosa board. So next up, we're gonna get this cut out for the hatch in here out of the Coosa board over there. So let's get that going. So it'll be just that much closer to gluing it in. All right, once again, another perfect fitment. This cardboard method of doing templates with cardboard will save you a lot of money and a lot of mistakes. So look at this. Hatch, perfectly cut. Gonna be able to tab it in just perfectly to the hull. Now I got the cardboard here making the template for this other piece. So as you can see, I kind of overcut it a little bit, so I put this piece here and I'm just taping it up, trying to line it up as close as possible. All right, so we got piece number 1 there, piece number 2 there, piece number 3 stencil is made. Gonna trace this stencil up and get it cut. All right. Look at that. Got the 3-piece floor going in. This will get pushed down. Just gonna mark a couple pieces right here that I need to grind down. But yeah, those templates worked great for doing floors. So use big pieces of cardboard to make templates and just slowly make cuts out of it. I mean, look at that lineup, almost perfect. Perfect. All the way around. All right, let's get this edge here. We're gonna get this edge here, grind it up. So it's raw fiberglass. Get it cleaned up and get ready to glue these bad boys in. The floors are going in today. So let's go. Now gonna take the grinder and grind all this edge here nice and clean and get ready to install the floors. Also grind like the foam and stuff off of there. Uh-oh, let's see what's up. Mako got into trouble. Bro, look at you. How'd you become a gray dog? You're a black dog. Bro. Alright, you stay out of trouble. Now we're going back to work because somebody decided to roll in the fire pit and get himself covered all in ashes. Alright, we're masked up, let's go. Alright, now that we got the edges all cleaned up and grinded down, I'm gonna take some acetone, wipe it all down, and get it cleaned up for the floors to get glued in. Alright guys, so it's finally time to glue the floors in. We got our 1:1 ratio slow curing epoxy. 1:1 ratio here. Epoxy, and our silica, which is going to convert this epoxy into a nice thick batch, which we're going to put in these bags here, cut the corners and squeeze them out onto the stringers and everywhere on the floor, just so it could get a good bond and contact and seal it all up. So with that being said, let's get to mixing. Alright, now we got this into a nice thick batch. We are now going to put it in here. Try not to make a mess. Alright guys, so I got it all mixed up in this bag. We're gonna cut it, run them all down the stringers, and then even on the foam a little bit and on the edges, and then put some weight on it and let it sit and get it sealed in. So I'm gonna put the camera down and do this real quick. So yeah. Alright guys, got the first piece put in. Nice and pretty flush with the original flooring. Got our water buckets to put the weight on it evenly. Now we're gonna glue these stringers onto this piece. So let's mix up another batch and repeat the process and get it done. All right, folks, look at this. I am walking on the floors. Just gotta make sure these water buckets don't spill, but man, what a great fitment. Look at that. Nice flush fitment already. Look at that. I'm super happy with the way the fitment came out on the floors. So what we're gonna do next is now fill these cracks and crevices up with that nice thick epoxy that we're mixing already to put on top of the stringers to seal it all up. Then once we do that, we're gonna take fiberglass mesh, yeah, chop strand, whatever you want to call it, with some epoxy and get it all filled in, sealed off, and then we're gonna go over with some 1708. But for today, we're just gonna seal it off. So let's get another batch mixed up and start sealing. And all right, we got our thick epoxy. Now we're gonna fill up these edges here and here. Can you see how that's now closed? Nice and sealed up. I'm gonna keep going around here, down the edge. Alright, so starting to run out of daylight. Got all the, you know, thick epoxy put in, the seams there. So now we're gonna mix up another batch of the 1x1 epoxy and use some chop strand to really get like these gaps filled in, and then we're gonna go with 1708. So let's do this real quick before the sun goes down and the battery dies on the camera. All right, 1-to-1 ratio of the epoxy. Of course, I don't have any popsicle sticks. I'll be right back. All right, got our epoxy mixed up. Got some chop strand. Now we're gonna start getting these sides and stuff filled. I'll show you here. Get that, like that. Oh, like this. Get it all wet. All nice and wet. I'm gonna put the mesh down right over that. Get that nice and sealed up like so. And then some more. Epoxy. All right, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do all down the boat. Running out of daylight, as you can see. So with that, I'm just gonna wrap up this video. I'll make a part 2 finishing this up because I gotta run through this and get it done before it gets dark. With that being said, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next video, part 2 on glassing the floor into the boat. But hope you enjoyed this video and learned something.